our sons, 16 and 18, have terrible teenage posture. The Screenager slouch. I have not heard this term before. I literally laughed out loud. This is a hoot. I love this. I love plays on words. So the Screenager slouch, right? From using the screen, and they're teenagers and they're slouching. I love it. So this person states they are thin and active, but slouch when sitting and standing. They say it hurts to sit up straight when I remind them, but I think it's because they're used to a slouched posture. What can help restore, improve their posture? Exercises, stretches, a posture device, education. Okay, so I'm going to do a little explanation and demonstration here that I have not written out because it would be way too long to write out. I can talk a lot faster than I can, then you know, we can print all these words. But I will provide some written information here, okay? Due to phone and tablet use, we have become a world about 75% of what could be called the chin forward, eye hunch population, right? A forward head, a hunched upper back, and rounded shoulders causes the facet joints in the spine to crowd together, and this can lead to abnormal wear and tear. Now, some people say, you know, we'll speed up the process of wear and tear. Well, really, that's an inflammation issue, that's a dietary issue, and of course, if you've got this horrible posture and now you're getting that abnormal grinding, right? Those joints are just kind of forced together, they're crowded together, that's going to create some damage over time, absolutely. But if you age well and you're eating proper and you're keeping yourself fit and mobile in all three planes and strong and all that stuff, you know, you're not going to get that wear and tear on the spine, not like what's seen normally, right? So a forward head also promotes the thoracic spine, which is the trunk area where your ribs are attached, to compensate and increases pressure on those vertebrae. And then microfractures can occur here as aging occurs, especially if there's a loss of bone density. So you crowd the joints in the spine and you're going to increase your risk of all kinds of bad things happening. The lumbar spine will also compensate by rounding out, which puts increased pressure in abnormal ways on the discs. The good news is that poor posture is fixable. There is a multi-prong approach that works quite quickly. The fascia system needs to be healed by hydrating, decompressing, and lengthening the fascial lines using the melt method. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. This will provide an immediate improvement, but will be temporary if the stabilizing muscles are not trained to restore proper function, and that's where the move without pain comes in. So let me do a little demonstration here, okay? So what I'm going to do is, if I'm doing this, okay, I have trouble even doing this. Let me get my lumbar roll out of here. Okay, so I'm just kind of, right, I'm kind of like this. And so, you know, my head is kind of stuck like this because I'd be down in my face like this. And most people don't do this, right, when they're doing it. Most people do this. So they kind of, their head drops forward so they can look down, but then they tilt their chin up. That shortens the joint here between the skull and the spine. But you're also crowding, you know, the neck is going against that natural healthy lordosis that you want, which is the curve like this, right? And then my thoracic spine is all hunched, my shoulders are rounded out, and my low back is rounded out as well. So now what happens? Everything here tightens, shortens, right? And this is all due to a lot of sitting. And so now you're compressing and dehydrating the back line of the body. The fascia has lines, front lines, back lines. So that front line will get compressed. It'll get compressed and dehydrated. So it's kind of pulling you forward. And so now, unless you hydrate the system and stimulate those cells to create fluid and lengthen the system, you're going to be kind of stuck like this. And when you try to come up, it is going to be a little bit painful because you're trying to fight all that stuff. Fascia is very strong tensily. It's got the tensile strength of, I think, about 2,000 pounds per square inch if my memory